Well, when it comes to Knuckles the Echidna, there's just two things you need to know. The first is, unlike what his theme in Sonic Adventure suggests, he is known for chuckling. And the second thing being, that he has become the subject of hat twirls. No, I apparently can't catch hats very well, but here it is, boys. The knucklehead right here, grinning like the Cheshire Cat, chuckling my foot. And yeah, eventually I'm gonna pick up some racks for all that merchandise I've got stacked in my closet because it is so full it might explode any second now. But let's be serious here. Gushing over my merchandise isn't something you're here to listen to. If you clicked on this video, you're probably curious as to who I am and what kinds of content you can expect from this new channel that I've opened within the past week. Well, glad you came here. Because of the introduction video, I will be sharing those answers. So, let's get started.
Here we go!
Hey everybody, what's up? This is GamerBlake90, self-proclaimed chief of the blue blurs, and if the merchandise from Decked In didn't give it away, a hugely obsessive fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, welcome to everybody that has just discovered this channel, which was made within the past week. This video took a little longer than I would have liked for it to go up, but I'm pretty stingy about the presentation of my content nowadays, even more so ever since I made my return to YouTube within the past 2 years. I want to be sure that everything was ready to go, basically. Now, for those that have just found my second channel as a result of seeing my channel update video that was presented over at my previous channel, welcome back, guys. Glad you found this channel and glad that you decided to stick with me. For the newer people, on the other hand, that are just discovering my content, I say to you guys, welcome, and make yourselves at home. Now, of course, you may be wondering who I am in case you didn't ever find my previous channel. And you're probably also asking what sort of content you can expect from this page other than the fact that it will obviously be Sonic themed. At this point it goes without saying. So, here I am ready to provide those answers in this insightful introduction video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into things. Before I begin, it's worth noting that a good portion of the information being shared here comes from my New Year message video that was also shared at my previous channel. If you haven't watched that yet, I encourage you to, but even if you haven't, no worries. I'm gonna give a brief summary of everything that was said in that video, along with a little more information to further add to the background of things. So, here we go. Now, every gamer's got an origin. In my case, it was the Sega Genesis. And knowing that fact, you can probably already guess what my very first game ever was. If not, well, I'll give you the answer. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Sega Genesis. Yes, I'm using the footage from the mobile port of Sonic 1 now that it's been decompiled and displayable on PC. Sonic 1 was such an experience for me, so to say, and it only continued to snowball from there with games like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Spinball, 3D Blast, Adventure, Adventure 2, Shuffle. Well, the list goes on and on, to be perfectly frank. After all, I am 30 years old, and Sonic made his debut like 11 months after my entrance into this world. Yes, in other words, I'm pretty old. And as a result, I've been there since the very start of the franchise. I haven't been lucky enough to experience literally every corner of it like I'm planning to do for the years to come, but I have definitely been able to indulge in a large amount of it, and my enjoyment of Sonic and the franchise as a whole has never wavered. Yes, there were some instances where I was a little concerned for the longevity of the franchise, and I won't get into the specifics of which parts of it exactly, but nevertheless, we're still here, and things are looking bright for its 30th anniversary later this year. So anyway, my first console was with Sega Genesis, and the stack just increased from there. I wasn't fortunate enough to get a Sega Saturn, but I did get the 32X extension that was very short-lived. Then there was the CD extension, which was eventually fried due to a thunderstorm. Oh my gosh, that sucked. And then there was the Sega Dreamcast. Of course I own consoles from other brands, but seeing the channel primarily Sonic, I found it fit to prioritize all mentions of the Sega consoles, and so there you have it. Now, also worth noting that when I first came to YouTube, it was like a decade ago, and for whatever reason, I was prioritizing content of an entirely different franchise that admittedly was one of the first games I played as well alongside Sonic, and that was Mortal Kombat. From there on out, it spiraled into a very brief venture as an FGC YouTuber, fighting game community in case you didn't know what that abbreviation stood for. And so I continued posting footage, but it was basically just effortless footage, so to say. There was no personality in it, no identity to it whatsoever. I didn't really put any sort of effort into my content, I just threw it all up there and call it. And then eventually my interest in the genre died out and I took some years off from YouTube. But then Sonic Mania came out, and not too long after that, I made my return with the intention of rebranding as a Sonic YouTuber. Although a commendable amount of progress was made ever since my return, the fact remained that with the dramatic changes to the platform, among other things, the goal to rebrand was, needless to say, very, very difficult. I was quite proud of the progress that was made throughout the past 2 years, but it became clear to me that more needed to be done. And so in an effort to completely start afresh and see where things went from here, I have decided to open a second channel alongside that of my first one. And so, here we all are. As far as what kind of content I've been doing ever since I made my return to the platform, as you guessed, with Sonic themed content, with an emphasis on what I like to call educational playthroughs. Now of course playthroughs are a type of content that has been vastly overdone within the past decade or so, to the point where they're not quite as popular anymore, and I understand why. We've all been there and done that at some point. However, I thought of a unique twist I could apply to my playthroughs, or what I hope is unique anyway, and that was the opportunity to provide as much insight on how each of the Sonic games functioned as best as I could. With the years that have gone by, the internet population has expanded greatly, and naturally, so has the gamer population. So whether games are old or new alike, everybody started coming across these games, the Sonic series included, and wondering how to make the most of their experiences with these games. That's where I decided to take it upon myself to introduce the educational playthroughs that I've been doing recently, both on my previous channel, and eventually I plan to do the same for this second channel as well, so you can certainly expect a lot of those. As a matter of fact, I'm looking to amass footage from literally every Sonic game that has ever existed, whether it be those produced by Sega, or those produced by the fan community. And I should tell you, there's a lot of amazingly talented fans in the community that have never failed to keep churning out these gifts. So as you can expect, the goal is kind of overwhelming, I'll be honest. I'm trying to archive like literally every game, fan-made or otherwise, and that may take me a long time to even do. Part of the reason for that is because one twist I've applied to my content ever since I made the return was the emphasis on commentary, a skill I was hoping to refine ever since I built upon it during my days in the fighting game community. And as a result, that tends to add to the amount of time that my content needs in order to be fully produced. Hence why I've yet to reach my goal of applying daily uploads, but that is still on my list of goals to achieve, so please be patient with me. I am working on it as best I can. But along with all these educational playthroughs that I plan to continue specializing in, upon making this second channel, I realized I wanted to do way more than that to share my enthusiasm over Sonic with everybody else. Like, I don't want to just do playthroughs. What I want to do is offer insight into the character as a whole. It's kind of a long list of things I want to do, honestly, but many of these include, like, you know, discussion videos, reviews like what I've done for the Sonic movie, reactions, like the one I recently shared about the trailer to Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. That's quite a game and I'm excited to play next month. The list goes on and on, honestly, but the long and short of it is, I don't plan to stick just to playthroughs from here on out. They'll be my specialty, of course, but you can look forward to far more diversity in terms of Sonic content. As for why I take such enjoyment from the series, apart from the fact that it was the very first one I ever dove into, and that Sonic refused to stay out of my sight no matter how many years go by, the evolution of his character was quite a journey, so to say, and it was one that only gave me more and more adoration for the character, in particular character development. I'm a sucker for very solid gameplay, of course, and that was one thing Sonic prided himself on considerably before the series suffered an identity crisis of sorts, as in it doesn't really know what it wants to do at times. Sonic Forces, for one, is a pretty good example of that, and of course I'm not criticizing anybody who likes Forces, but that's kind of where I stand on the subject. Nevertheless, the point is that over the years, Sega has become quite uncertain as to what it is they want to do with the character. This has resulted in a huge spread of various gameplay styles for the entire Sonic series, some of which I plan to go into more depth about over time. But of all the gameplay styles that exist in the Sonic series, 3 have stood out the most when it comes to the mainline segment of the Sonic series. One is Classic, the second is Adventure, and the third is Boost. Adventure and Boost are both results of the modern Sonic formula, but they function differently, as you'll soon see. If you were to ask me what my favorite Sonic games are, I have a pretty huge list, but I would always pick 3 that stood out the most to me. The first, Sonic Mania. The second, Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 1 to be specific. And the third, Sonic Unleashed. What's interesting about that selection is that each of the titles I picked come from a different era of Sonic. Sonic Mania representing the classic 2D platform formula that basically defined Sonic's origin since the days of the Sega Genesis. Then Sonic Adventure, which was spawned from the Sega Dreamcast and would eventually be representative of the iconic 3D open world formula for which Sonic was highly praised. And then there's the Boost formula with Sonic Unleashed, which was a little bit more straightforward in comparison to the Adventure formula, but nevertheless, the possibilities with it are endless. Pun not intended, given the main theme of Sonic Unleashed. I think you all know what I meant. So there's my 3 favorite Sonic games for you, in case you all were curious to know. But honestly, it's very hard for me to pick favorites when it comes to the Sonic series because there's so much of it that I just admire that I could go on and on for days about it. And more or less, that's what's gonna happen with this channel, so there you all go. So to summarize again, Sonic playthrough, discussion videos, reaction videos, match videos for Smash Ultimate even, since that does feature the Blue Boy Sonic himself, and it goes on and on and on. The content that I was diving into in my previous channel will be shared through here as well. And within the weeks and months to come, I'm planning to transition to the second channel as my permanent page, my primary means of channeling content out to you guys. A transition is in effect, but even then, I won't cease uploads to my previous channel, at least not yet. I don't know when exactly I will, but for the time being, I've got 2 pages to juggle, and that won't be quite easy, honestly, but I'm up for it. Nothing easy was ever worthwhile, after all. And so there you guys have it. That is an overview of what you can look forward to from this channel. Once I'm back here, I will be all set to go with, well, whatever comes to mind, honestly, as my plans are all over the place. But if you would like to keep up to date my content, you know the steps to take, I bet. But if not, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. And if you like this video, feel free to drop your likes and comments down below. Any questions you have, go ahead and share them. I'll definitely answer straight away, as I make it a point to respond to every single comment that I receive. And on that note, I think that will top off this introduction video. Hopefully it wasn't too overwhelming for you, as I know I tend to wander off and present a lot of information now and then. But anyway guys, that will do it with this video. Take care, see y'all next time, and don't forget, blue blurs for life. Yes, that's my trademark hashtag, you're gonna be hearing it every time. Anyway, see y'all, take care.